for a potential offensive rebound.
Whoa! Oh my goodness gracious! Did you just see that dunk mistake? Oh boy! We're all tied at 119.
What just happened?
Done, working without a bio. Marquis switched on to him. Shot clock at 10. Blocked, and he threw it off him. Oh, that's disrespectful. So the presence of mind blocked the shot, and then I'm out of bounds, but so are you.
Hope. James with a great tap to AD.
How does he know to touch past that to Anthony?
Yo, what is up YouTube brodies, and welcome back to my channel. So for this video, we will be talking about increasing your basketball IQ and how to overall improve in your game. So let's go. So I'll consider this the off season for all basketball players. Why? Because it's quarantine time and COVID-19 has struck us very hard. We cannot go to the courts and practice on our games, so I will be giving you tips on how to improve your game just using your mind and thinking of possible ways to improve while in your house. So as a basketball player, I've been sitting on the bench numerous times, and I can say to you, sitting on the bench is not bad. It is the best possible way to learn from the stars on your team, because when sitting on the bench you can see how they can play, and most of the time they always use their mind when playing basketball. Yes, they have the skill of shooting, they have the skill of dribbling, and they have the skill of getting to the basket easily, but it cannot be possible if you don't use your mind.
Score all night.
12 of 19 from the field and a steal. 3-on-1. Lobs it up for Hollins, and here come the Celtics, who cut it to 4 for the third time this period.
And turnovers are killing the Hawks. I mean, Doc just said it.
I am not that good of a basketball player, but I've been playing and studying basketball players since high school and how they play, especially the NBA level caliber players like Kobe, LeBron, Dirk. Most of those players are my idols, but that's for another video. I don't know if these tips will help you, but it actually helped me, because basketball is actually a mind game, or it is a strategy based game. Yes, the shooting and the dribbling is what makes you win, but if you get into the mind of the opponent and you know what they're gonna do next, it's a sure victory for you. So for the first tip, everybody, is be calm. If you're calm in the game of basketball, your game will improve tremendously. I have seen lots of basketball players that are very nervous in the game of basketball, and even if they are very good, they always rush their shot, or they always do those fast dribble moves, and then just shoot the ball.
Dwight Howard's got Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo trying to get it inside. Shumpert back to Carmelo. 3 seconds.
If you're calm, just hold the ball. Think of the best possible chance for your team to get a shot. And that is the best way to improve on your game, because you are helping everybody to win, and that is the most important part of basketball. It's teamwork. Another thing why being calm can improve your game tremendously is because you can see the floor clearly. You can make the correct passes, you can make the correct shots, or you can also make the correct defensive plays. Because if you are nervous in those last seconds, that one mistake that you can do will make your team lose. So, I recommend that you be calm in the game of basketball. So tip number 2, learn from the best.
Look at Rondo saying to Marcus, don't worry about the middle, you go guard the corner. Look at Rondo, look at him directing traffic.
Yeah, he knows it. He don't care if they get a layup.
And the Kings are going to win the game. How about the coaching of Rajon Rondo?
What do I mean by learning from the best? What I mean by this is that you can go on YouTube, watch your favorite players' highlights, and look at how they play the game of basketball. Not just highlights, but their defensive plays, their smartest plays. Look on how they control the ball, because this can actually improve you, because when you learn from the best, you will be the best. It is not just on the highlight plays on YouTube or the highlights of your best basketball player, but you can also learn from the best player on the league that you are playing in, or on the barangay that you are in, or the municipality, or whatever, on the college you are playing for, because they are there for the reason. They are the best for a reason. You can also copy their signature moves if you want to. Looking at how they move, looking at how they control the ball, that is the best possible way for you also to improve. But it is better if you make those signature moves and make it into your own move. And that is how we learn from the best. Remember guys, we are all students of the game and we always need to continue learning and absorbing what we see because this is the best way for us to improve. Aside from practicing every day. So you should never be discouraged if you're sitting on the bench. Hence, you should always learn. Keep on learning, guys. Yeah. For this next tip, you actually need a good friend that will record you while playing basketball. Why? Because you need to watch yourself play. Watching yourself play is actually the best ways to improve yourself because you will see what you did wrong on the court. You will see that this crossover never actually works, or this is my low percentage shot, or this layup when I do it always gets blocked.
See.
And Westbrook off the back of Rodney Hood recovers and scores it. He didn't even mean to take that shot.
Just tremendous focus.
Why do you need to learn all of this? Because you will know that in the next game you will not do it again. Because the repetition of mistakes will actually attribute to more mistakes and will actually bring you lower or will make your game worse than before. Because if you never correct these mistakes, you will never learn from what is right and from what is wrong. You will always believe that doing this layup is actually good when it is actually bringing you down. So that is my tip. Watch yourself play. For this next tip, always be persistent to learn. We are all students of the game of basketball. And we can never just go from 0 to 100 in just 2 days or 3 days. We need to learn. We need to always think of the possible outcomes. We always need to think of the progress on getting to 100%. We cannot cheat this because this is what God has planned for us. So that is why I discourage those players that always say that I always sit on the bench learning nothing or doing nothing. Guys, you can always do a lot more when just sitting on the bench. You can always observe how they play or how they run those basketball plays that the coach has set up. Sitting on the bench is never a negative for me. If sitting on the bench attributes to a win, I will actually do that. Trust the process and trust yourself because in the game of basketball, no one will help you except yourself. Yes, the coaches will tell you what to do. The coaches will teach you how to shoot a layup. Also, when these basketball players that are better than you get angry because you did something wrong, don't get angry at them for screaming at you. Actually absorb those words of wisdom that they say because these words of wisdom will actually improve your mind to think the way they think because they are at that level. And you being at a very low level of playstyle need to learn that I need to lower my pride and learn. That's why my tip is being persistent to learn. For this last and final tip, have the Mamba mentality. The Mamba mentality is the mentality that Kobe and Michael Jordan came up with because they always want to be the #1 player on the court. And not just on the court but also in practice. When Michael Jordan first came up in the practice area, he aimed at the #1 player directly. He did not do it with words. He did not do it verbally because he had no voice back then because he was a rookie. So what he did, when the #1 player did 50 sprints, he did 60. When the #1 player did pull-ups, 60 pull-ups, he did 70. And that is how he improved. Having the Mamba mentality also improves to your game because when you have this mentality, you will actually think of the best possible way for your team to win. If you can't shoot the ball, do anything else rather than shoot the ball. Do the rebounds, get the assists, do the steals, be the defensive player out there. Having a very low percentage shot doesn't attribute to you being the weakest on the team. Look at Dennis Rodman. He didn't actually score the points, but he did the rebounds, he did the defensive plays. He got in the minds of the #1 players on those teams. So guys, those are my tips for you to improve your basketball game or your basketball IQ. If you like this video, hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button to show support in this very small channel. So, peace.